Hi guys, welcome back. So final episode, I think, really before starting to use this lathe in earnest. As I have mentioned in previous episodes, even though the motor is now mounted, that's all good and solid set up, really happy with that. The bed of the lathe is really stable and solidly attached onto this counter. The pulley that's on this ancient motor here is very, very badly out of true. Almost unusably out of true. I have been attempting to use it using various different tricks to stabilise the motor, but it's not good enough. Also, there's only one speed on it. So what I've done is I have purchased a new cone pulley in order to be able to use all four speeds. That's the mission anyway. Now, problem is, because this is new, it's metric. I could have imported something from America at vast expense for a 1/2 inch drive. This is a 1/2 inch drive. This is a 12mm bore down the middle, but it's not the end of the world. There's a very simple thing we can do here to sort this out. There is a grub screw in here. First thing I'm going to do, in fact, is take this out and put it in a safe place. Oops. So the grub screw is what's going to attach it onto the spindle. So I'll have that out of there, as I say. That means we don't have anything to worry about except that the metal that this is made of. Put that in a safe place, bear with me. Okay, so I've stuck that on my magnetic tray. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use two reamers. The first one is a 12mm reamer. That's a 12mm hole, so it should be pretty blown close anyway to perfectly 12mm. So I can use that to ensure concentricity on the chuck. Once that's in, I'm going to spin it for a little bit, make absolutely certain that that hole is cleaned out. And with the hole cleaned out and the pulley arranged absolutely dead center on the chuck, I can then take the 12mm reamer out. These are straight fluted reamers designed for chucking, and I can insert this one, which is a brand new 1/2 inch reamer. Only 0.67 of a millimetre difference between the two of them, but it will make all the difference to being able to attach this lovely brand new cone pulley onto this old motor, and should stabilise everything, smooth everything right out. That's the plan anyway. Now, when you are using reamers, there are a couple of things you need to remember. They are precision tools. They're not for boring out large quantities of material, so you want to give them the best possible fighting chance you can and minimise the amount of work that they have to do. It's really just a finishing tool. Now, the other thing to never ever do with them, unlike taps and dies, where you kind of back it off a little bit every time you go to break off the chips, you never ever run a reamer backwards, because that kills the cutting face. Okay, so really important to remember that. Both of these reamers will fit into this 13mm chuck, one being 12mm, the other one being 12.7, thereabouts. So what I'm going to do, using this little Jacob's chuck, is I'm going to effectively use this as a pre-centered spindle. I'm going to slide the new pulley onto it. Okay, so that's nice and central. And then I'm going to bring this up, lock it to the bed of the lathe, and now I can very gently wind the pulley onto the chuck. Now I'm going to expand the chuck outwards to catch hold of, it'll be the outer face, the outer edge, but with this pushed right over. And there we go. I'm now winding anti-clockwise to lock that in place, remembering always to turn the workpiece against the reamer so that the reamer is turning clockwise into the workpiece. Never ever go the other way. I'm just turning this here to be able to chuck it in from the other side as well. I'll just check that again. Oh, the other thing, always put your chuck somewhere else. Never ever leave it sitting in the top like that. Otherwise it will at some point come flying straight into your face. Bit of a challenge for any goggles, that. Right. As I turn this, the reamer is in fact starting to do some work. I can feel there's very little resistance. But you can see from how much the motor's moving there just how badly out of true this is. Now I'm looking down here just at the edge of this. I'm not going to bother putting a run out gauge on it or anything, but I can see that that is absolutely smooth. So this is beautifully made piece. It was nice and cheap as well because it's metric rather than imperial, so they're nice and common. I'm just going to lock that up with this as slow as it can possibly go. I'm going to put a load of oil on this. Now, of course, there was some oil on it already. You'll have seen it dripping on my feet at the start of the video. As I've mentioned, you don't unscrew these things, back them out. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to walk it out. Oops, sorry, kicking you there as I went past. So I'm going to unbolt the tail. I'm going to wind the tail along, unlock it, wind the tail along, so that is moving to the right as far as it will go. Lock it down, and then I'm going to bring the tailstock with the reamer in it, the Jacob's chuck there, to join it. So this is basically drawing the chuck backwards. And do that again. Unlock it from the base. Turn this so that the tailpiece pushes backwards. And you might think this is overkill. I really don't want to do anything that's going to knock this off true, so I'm just being super careful here. Okay, perfect. So now, get my cutting fluid, put a big old gob of that into the top flute. That will smear around the inside just nicely. Present that as far as I can. Lock it down. Wind it in just a touch. Lock that up. And now I have two choices. I can either turn it gingerly by hand, or I can turn on the motor, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the pulse width modulation controller here to make sure that that's running as slow as it can. More than enough. Right, so at this point, again, I'm going to, if I can't just pull it straight out, which may be possible, it is possible, I was going to just walk the tailpiece out. No need, as it turns out, which is nice. So I'll undo this, wind the tailpiece back. Where's my chuck gone? There's my chuck. Take out the 12mm reamer. I'm just going to wipe that down on a piece of blue roll. Bear with me. Good to keep these things in a safe place, nice and well lubricated. I have an old tin that's got all my reamers in, so nice and easy to find the one you're after. There they are in order. It's only a cheap set, but if you look after your tools, they'll look after you. Ordinarily, I'd say if you buy cheap, you buy twice, but if you look after them, not necessarily the case. Right, next up is the 1/2" reamer. I'm going to expand the chuck as far as it'll go. Remember, this holds a maximum of 13mm. 1/2" is absolutely dead on 12.7. So the end here is going to be biting relatively hard into the metal of the insert. This isn't all solid aluminium. This is steel insert that runs up the middle of it. So again, I'm just going to switch this on, make sure it's running true, which it absolutely is. That's as slow as it can go. Let me just move you in a little bit here. I'm going to stop talking because you won't hear me over the lathe anyway. We're going to really take our time with this. Okay, we're in no kind of rush, so periodically just going to knock the chips off. Unlike a drill, where these chips can just kind of come backwards with a straight fluted reamer, of course they can't. So we'll just keep doing that. We'll splat more oil and keep on going. That's coming off more as putty now, so at that point I think we're done. Okay, mission accomplished. So the hole through the middle of that cone pulley is now 1/2 inch instead of 12mm. So let's fit that on the lathe and see if that's worked. There's the inside of the pulley, full of chips as well, so we definitely broke through. So we'll get this grub screw back in. That's a lovely fit. Hopefully that'll do us a better job. Let's have a look. A little bit of wobble. I'll put a bit of spacing in there. Well, I reckon that that is about as good as I'm going to get. If anyone out there is in possession of an actual Boxford motor mount, one of the original ones with the twin pulley arrangement, then if you're not using it, I'd be delighted to buy it from you. But you know, until that extremely unlikely event, this is going to have to do me. So I'm going to crack on and make some stuff. So thank you very much for watching. As always, if this is your kind of thing, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Take it easy. Cheers.